that was Piyush Goyal. I was speaking to him some time back. When I asked him about what Jaitley said, he said, well, Jaitley didn't start it, but Jaitley is keen to end it. I don't know, however, whether this is ending. Amitabh Kant joining us today on the debate as the CEO of the Niti Aayog, speaking for the government along with GVL Narasimha Rao, spokesperson of the BJP. And on the other side, to take them on today, we have Rajiv Desai, Danish Ali of the JDS, and Sunit Chopra of the CPIM. Thank you very much. Simple question here to start this off. How far is this going to go, Amitabh Kant? For Arun Jaitley to describe Yashwant Sinha as a job applicant, this seems to have become both personal and political. Amitabh Kant.
Arnab, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but it's, we must understand that the country was crying out for major reforms. You can't be a $10 trillion economy if half your economy is an informal economy. I mean, you have to smash that informal economy. The entire country wanted a GST, and therefore major structural changes were required. And I think once you've carried out those structural changes, there will be some teething issues, but the country must have the courage, it must have the determination, and it must have the patience to continuously go on a forward march with these major changes that have taken place, because in the long run, this will be extremely good for the country. You can't be an economy where you don't have adequate resources to spend on your health, education, and your nutrition sector. You need a very wide tax base. You need to create jobs, and you need a very vibrant, dynamic economy so that essentially we are able to take India to a high trajectory growth rate. Now, it's important that structural changes were necessary, they were carried out, and there will be some challenges. But the government is extremely alive to these challenges. We've had a series of meetings. The government will act, and there will be issues.
When?
And these issues will be constantly confronted with.
What if, I'll get the response actually from Rajiv Desai, but what if someone were to turn around, Amitabh Kant, and say, Mr. Kant, you're being unfair. You're being unfair because you're using words today like courage. Did the people not have courage during the implementation of demonetization? You are using words like determination. Were the people not determined to back you?
Yeah.
When you announced the GST, they were. But then it is not the problem of the people to go down to the details, to the granularity. You're the ones who have to implement it. The lack of implementation, the problems in implementation are yours, and you must own up to them. Actually, okay, before Rajiv Desai responds, I think the CEO of the Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant, wants to respond once again to that. Yes, Amitabh Kant.
Yeah, Arnab, we must understand that the fundamentals of the economy are absolutely sound. This is an economy where the fiscal deficit is intact. This is an economy where inflation rates are low. This is an economy where the foreign direct investment continues to flow in very large measure. We are the #1 recipient of foreign direct investment across the world. We've beaten China at it.
Okay.
And the capital expenditure as a percentage of the total expenditure has gone up. If you look at road, if you look at rail, if you look at civil aviation, if you look at electricity, each one of these sectors, the sector's capital expenditure has gone up from 40 to 50%. And actually, the government has more than made up for the investment of the lack of investment of the private sector. And a lot of investment has taken.
We have started with your opening round. I hope you are ready to debate. Rajiv Desai, I remember our conversation 2 weeks back. This is absolutely contrary to every word you uttered there. He says here, Mr. Amitabh Kant says there is no problem. Structurally, we are fine. These are transient troubles, indicating therefore that people like you, Congress leaders, left leaders, opposition leaders like Danish Ali, are all indulging in political overhype. I want your response. The debate is open right now. Everyone feel free to come in. Yes, please. I'd like to start with Rajiv Desai. Mr. Desai.
Well, first of all, the best way you can describe me is a well-informed and concerned Indian citizen. That would be better. That's number one.
Are you saying Amitabh Kant is neither well-informed nor concerned?
No, you describe me as a Congress guy and this and that and the other. I'm just telling you who I am and why I'm here. So that's number one. But I also have some numbers which I'd like to place before you. If one of the key indicators of economic growth is a credit offtake, and there's an overall 30% decline in credit offtake in India. The All India Manufacturers Organization says that there's been a 50% drop in revenues and a 35% fall in employment. Housing in top 8 cities is down by 44%, the lowest in 16 years. And on and on and on the story goes. Everybody all over the world in every major news.
Then why did why did Morgan Stanley predict 8 hours back? Why did Morgan Stanley predict 8 hours back that India will be the third largest economy with a 6 trillion valuation in the next 10 years? They don't. Morgan Stanley doesn't understand numbers.
It may well be, but this government won't be there, no? So that's the whole point.
So the point is political, therefore. So then your point is not economic. Your point is political.
Understand? No, my point is totally economics, because ultimately you cannot do economic policy as a government without any understanding of politics. You can't just go off and destroy 87% of the currency of one of the world's largest economies.
Now you're being shot down. Amitabh Kant is right to reply, but you're being shot down. The fact of the matter is, FDI inflows. Sir, you don't want me to speak. You don't want me to counter you.
Short term, what are you saying?
Short term, I'm saying that FDI inflows hit an all-time high of over 60 billion in 2016-17. Where were you then?
Giving the government the benefit of the doubt, I would like to understand what has changed. They opposed GST tooth and nail. Now they swear by it. They opposed Aadhaar tooth and nail. Now they swear by it. So I just want to know what has changed. All I know is what
debate is over.
Credit is down. The economy is slow. There's the ultimate decline in industrial production, the slowest ever in so many years.
I think this is Arnab. This is nothing but.
If you don't know. If you can't do it, then
is
just you don't admit it, you won't fix it.
GVL.
You have to admit it first and then
I don't want to do it.
Otherwise you can't
This is a serious debate. Ask this gentleman to really speak less. This is season 2 of intolerance bogey. Now, earlier they talked about religious intolerance.
Yes.
Now this is intolerance, economic intolerance. And finance ministers who have shared this country, who have had a humiliating record, have now turned columnist, and very dishonest columnist at that. There is no truth. Everyone is trying to take one indicator.
Are you calling Yashwant Sinha, your own party leader, a dishonest columnist?
What are the macro
indicators? Are you
indicators?
calling Yashwant Sinha, your own senior party leader, part of your Margdarshan Mandal, as a dishonest man? As a dishonest columnist? Just because he criticized you?
Anyone who's spreading doom is dishonest.
Oh,
I
my
would
God.
say
No, yeah,
without any hesitation.
Danish.
And this is
Danish.
not
Politics
this
of
is not
BJP
based on
is
this
the
is not based on
politics of
rational
BJP,
analysis.
just like George
This is
W.
not.
Bush.
Can I
Either
complete
you
my
are
statement?
with
I'll say
me
more.
or you are against
Come on,
me.
let me complete.
No,
Let me
no,
complete
it's
my
ridiculous.
statement. I
That
don't
is the
care who it is.
sanskar
I will
BJP
say
and RSS
any irrational
It's
commentary
ridiculous.
is dishonest analysis.
they are
Any irrational
humiliating-
commentary
they
which
are
is not
humiliating
borne out
their
by
own
evidence,
leaders.
which does not look at 3.5 years of our performance, which takes
they
a
are
very
humiliating
convenient
their
and a
own
very
leaders.
negative look
Starting
at things
from Mr.
because it
L.K.
doesn't
Advani
suit
to
someone
Murli
politically.
Manohar Joshi,
That is
to
dishonest.
Arun Shori, to Yashwant Sinha.
I think you can
Even
do
your
whatever you can
darling
waste your time.
Subramaniam
I would say
Swami
anyone
has
who
written
is
a
not
16-page
who is not
letter
involved in
last
rational
week.
analysis
It's not
is
the
dishonest,
opposition leaders
plainly
who are
dishonest.
criticizing Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao. It's not.
I think
it's
stop,
not the
stop
opposition
ranting.
leaders. It's your
Stop
leaders,
ranting.
your
Let us
party
talk,
leaders
let us
who
talk
are
economy.
showing you the mirror.
Let us talk economy.
See, you have totally
Let us
created
talk
a mess.
economy.
And
I think don't
yes,
waste,
talk
don't
economy.
wax eloquent
yes,
on this.
talk economy.
Let us talk economy.
Talk economy.
I think
when
the
UPA
doomsday
government debated
projections
office,
are
the
based
crude
on
oil price
someone's
was
personal pick and frustration.
$140 per barrel. Now
The crude oil price was $35 to $52
I think you
per
have no
barrel.
interest in
You
our analysis. You have no
siphoned
interest in a
off
reasoned argument. You simply want to
284,000
rant.
crores
Go on
of
ranting.
rupees. Where it has gone?
Go on ranting.
When crude oil price was
We have
low
a poll
in the
on.
international market, you says ये तो
All,
मोदी की किस्मत है.
all, there
मोदी
is
अच्छा है
public
देश के
investment,
लिए.
4
इसलिए
lakh
किस्मत
crores
है
of
मोदी
public
की.
investment.
ये अंतर्राष्ट्रीय
Danish,
You and your
Danish Ali,
congressmen have
can
only
we go
swallowed
back
money.
to the facts, please,
This
and have a
government is
reasonable
investing
debate?
money.
Sir, please don't shout.
Yes,
Please
I
understand.
want to debate
Think
on
of
the
the
facts.
Aam Aadmi. Think of
No,
the
I
Aam
want to-
Aadmi. And
Please
ladies and
give the
gentlemen, my
space.
question is simple. Sunit Chopra, if you want, I want Sunit Chopra to come into the debate and let's debate some facts with Amitabh Khan.
No.
No. We can. You can put him in the dock. No, you can. No. 1 second. It's a wonderful opportunity. If you wish to be reasonable tonight with me, and we have a live poll, I'm going to keep the results over the bottom of your screen right now. There's a question being asked. Sunit Chopra, tonight, I would say to you, you have a wonderful opportunity. With you on television today is the Chief Executive Officer of the Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant. Now, we have two options, therefore. You can shout at him, you can shout at GVL, you can take pot shots, you can throw some darts at Amitabh Kant, or you can get into a reasonable debate with him. I suggest today, let's have a reasonable debate. Okay, Sunit Chopra, let's have a reasonable debate. So everyone please calm down. My question is simple. What the hell is going on? Yashwant Sinha writes an article, his son writes another article, RSS affiliates and the entire opposition has piggybacked on this article to make a political point. Does anyone give two hoots about what is happening to the ordinary Indian citizen whose concerns have been lost in this political rhetoric? You don't give two hoots, Sunit Chopra. You will just take some pleasure. That for 1 week or 2 weeks we put the government on the back foot.
I would like to point out.
Okay, then point out facts. Go on, Sunit Chopra.
We have figures.
No, counter him then. Counter him.
Yes, we have figures to show
Which
that
figure?
they don't give two hoots for the common man. Today, 1% of our population has cornered 58% of the assets of this country. And 22%
Sir, don't tell me this
of
has
the
happened.
income.
Sir, don't tell me this has happened in the last. Sir, don't tell me this has happened in the last 2 percentile of this country's history.
Do not even know where the next meal is coming from.
Sir,
They have destroyed the economy. They have destroyed the economy. You look at the non-performing assets of banks, how they have increased exponentially in the period of 3.5 years. You look at the debt of this country. Today, you are comparing your debt with USA, who is getting loans at 1 and 2%. You are paying 7 to 9%, and 65% of your money is going to pay interest. So you have actually wrecked agriculture, health, education, and farmers' suicides have increased exponentially. So it is obvious, even the banks have stated that by digitalizing the economy, you are losing 3,800 crores a year from the banks. You are actually looting your economy to pay the rich who are not paying their debts.
And so you
That's
believe
what you are
Yashwant
doing.
Sinha.
In the name of
And
corporatization.
so you believe
you
Yashwant
are
Sinha.
paying those who don't pay back.
As before Amitabh Kant responds to you, which I hope he
Sinha
will.
has
Which I
very
hope he will.
sound
1 minute. Just a
points,
minute. Just
but
a minute.
he has taken it to a personal level.
Who?
It is not a question of Jaitley versus Yashwant Sinha. It's a question of plundering of the Indian economy by the rich.
Sir, I will make just 2 points before I go across and hand over to Amitabh Sinha, Amitabh Kant, who must respond. Point number 1, consolidation of assets among a few rich has not happened in the last 2 years. Point number 2, NPAs were given out during the Congress government. Point number 3, the debt burden of this country has not happened in the last 2 years
They have
alone.
increased
And point number 4, let
exponentially.
me embarrass you completely.
You want me to give you the figures? I'll give you
Don't
the
read
figures.
out from a book, sir.
They went up from 3 lakh
Don't
crores
read
to
from a book,
over
sir.
8 lakh crores.
Sir, don't read from a book. because then I'll have to embarrass you further.
No, I've got the figures.
I'll tell you, there's a
I
person.
don't want to sort of just thrust them on you.
There
but
is a person.
It has increased exponentially.
I will just tell you, there are two people. One person is Prakash Karat and the other person is Yashwant Sinha. And the year is 2002. Prakash Karat says this man, Yashwant Sinha, knows nothing about the country, nothing about economics, nothing about the middle class, and he must quit. And today there are people like you are lining up behind Yashwant Sinha. Amitabh Kant is responding to you. Amitabh Kant, since you have been completely accused of...
I'm not lining up behind
Amitabh Kant is responding to you, sir.
I'm lining up behind the people who are
Amitabh Kant, let's debate on facts. You've been accused of everything.
I'm lining up
Arnab,
behind the people who have been murdered by the policies of this government.
Arnab, Suneet is not realizing this, but we are in the midst of one of the biggest digital transformations that has ever taken place in the history of the world. 1 billion biometrics, 1 billion mobile, 1 billion bank accounts. When I was working in Kerala in the fisheries sector, it used to take 3 to 4 months to open a bank account for a traditional fisherman. I mean, we struggle to get bank accounts, physical bank accounts opened through physical banks. Today, you go to a federal bank in Kerala, you can open a bank account in exactly 1 minute flat. 1 minute flat. We were a country of all kind of leakages.
Yes, but when there's
today,
no money, your bank is
every
closed
single government
and you
benefit.
can't do a damn thing
every
with your
single
work
government,
because your money is in the bank.
So today, every single government benefit, from scholarship to ration to nutrition benefit, everything is flowing seamlessly.
Scholarships are not being paid. Ask the Chief Minister of UP.
Ask
Rajasthan. Scholarships are not being paid.
So the direct benefit transfer. So my request to my friend is, if you can allow me to speak. Once you digitize your economy, you're making your economy in the long run a very efficient economy. Now, no country can grow in the long run without total factor productivity. And to my mind, what the country today is going through by using digitization and by pushing, if I use my mobile today to do all my banking transaction, it's my wallet, it's my bank. If you go to smaller districts in Andhra Pradesh, poor people are all doing their transactions through their biometric. They're taking their ration also, and the ration dealer is doing cash in and cash out. And this is the movement which is spreading out all over. And therefore, my personal view is...
You are talking about the rural India? Don't bluff, please.
Who's bluffing?
I live in front of your office. Even the Airtel network is not working. Internet is not working here. And you are talking about the digital India? Just creating the millions more connections is not a digital India. I am saying it with the responsibility that I am having an Airtel connection for last years.
The second
my internet is not working. It's just in front of Yojana Bhavan.
Danishali, you know what? I'm sorry. 1 second. Amitabh Kant, 1 minute. Danishali, what are you talking about? You want to create a hype, right? You want to scare people. You want to go there on the roads and say everything's going to collapse. We're heading towards an economic disaster.
You are creating the hype.
No, you are the one creating the hype. You, let me tell you.
People are waiting for the achhe din.
1 second.
People are still waiting for the good day.
Mr. Danishali.
People accepted the creation of the bank account.
This is not...
People accepted the creation of the bank account.
Mr. Danishali, the people who are doing cash transactions, the people who have money in black, they will be saying it is not achhe din. Okay, GVL is coming to the debate, but I must make some points out here. Danishali, you can't keep shouting over me. The fact of the matter is, Danishali, 4,73,000 suspicious transactions were detected because of demonetization. Where is the room to criticize it? Undisclosed income worth 29,213 crores was detected and admitted because of demo.
The Pradhan Sevak of this country promised. The Pradhan Sevak of this country promised on the day he demonetized the 1,500 rupees that
No, you don't know. 1 second. 2.1 lakh, you are wrong. 2.1 lakh shell companies also happened because of demo. The deregistration of 2.1 lakh shell companies happened because of demonetization. Stop shouting.
Arnab, आप जैसे लोगों ने
No, Arnab, there is a political,
the
there is a
pro-government economist
political
said
narrative.
that more than
Can
2
I come in
lakhs
here?
rupees will not be deposited in
I
the banks.
think Danish Ali is making
Now
no
100%
sense,
has been
only
deposited
venting
in the
his
bank.
frustration here. There is political recession in this country.
People has realized.
A number
Mr.
of
GVL,
political
let's go,
leaders
don't worry.
see their
People
jobs
are going
having
to
lost.
teach you next year.
They see a long season of joblessness. This is a sign of political joblessness. A number of them who
Rajiv
find
Desai
their
on the right,
jobs
Rajiv Desai.
in
Jobs
peril.
which you
I think you
promised
have
in
some of
your
them on your
manifesto.
panel.
2
They are only
crore
venting
jobs
their
to the youth
frustration.
every year.
There is no economy.
You have
Economy
destroyed
is
the
doing
even
very well.
existing jobs.
It's in a takeoff stage. It has
You have
whatever
destroyed the-
ills it has
the
suffered in the
small
past.
scale
We have
industry in this
rectified
country
it.
totally.
Structural
You have
changes have
destroyed
ensured
the
that this
agriculture
economy
sector.
You have
will
rectified
gallop
nothing.
at a very high speed.
Technical changes
I
You
think
have
only
destroyed
vested
the life
only
of the
those
common
who have
man.
corrupt background, those who have black
You have
money,
just
94% of your labor
only they
is
are crying.
today casual labor.
It's only you are crying. Politically, jobless are
94%
crying.
of your labor.
I think
What are you
in
saying?
the employment sector, a large number
These
of
are not
jobs have been
problems.
created
These
in
are human beings
self-employment.
without
Many
food,
of these political workers
without jobs,
cannot
without
indulge in
protection.
self-employment. I think Rahul Gandhi, what self-employment
Bring
can you
tempers
expect
down.
Rahul Gandhi to have? So he certainly is
Bring
staring
tempers
at
down.
long-term joblessness.
Okay, we'll
This
discuss
is-
joblessness.
this is actually
but
a
bring tempers
frustration.
down on the debate, please. This is a serious debate.
Discuss
Bring,
joblessness.
no, okay, we'll
That's
discuss
the
jobs.
essence.
We will discuss jobs, but we will not abuse, we will not shout, we will not raise our voice tonight. There's a serious debate going on, please. And on the issue of jobs, no, Danish, again you are shouting. If you shout, then I can't take the discussion forward. Danish Ali, thoda relax kijiye. On the issue of jobs, if we have a debate, I'm sure you can put the CEO of the Niti Aayog in the dock.
Using the national television channel.
You put him in the dock. Why are you shouting? Put him in the dock with facts, no? Put him in the dock. He's there. It's a live program.
I told you the fact. He was talking
I
about
gave
the
you
digital
facts.
India.
Okay, let's present the facts. Okay, Rajiv Desai.
I gave you facts. You didn't even look at it.
Okay, so you put the facts here. I'm telling
Arnab,
you.
I gave you some numbers.
No,
I have no
facts.
response on those numbers.
Let's
from
have
this
a
newly
I'm also giving
from
the
this
facts.
newly qualified
What
economist.
number? Come on, you can't. No, I'm
Can you-
Rahul. Arnab,
I assure
I
you.
think he's not quoting the right
No,
statistics.
one second, one
Let's
second.
look at macroeconomic
Guy,
fundamentals.
first of all,
let's look at economic growth.
tell Mr.
Let's look at
Narasimha Rao
inflation.
to
Let's look at
just-
fiscal deficit.
GVL, Rajiv saying
Are there
something.
not
Calm down.
macroeconomic indicators?
GVL.
Let me say something.
No, but
Otherwise, what's the
no,
point?
But Mr.
You know,
Rajiv Desai talk
I mean,
about
GVL
macroeconomic
suddenly
indicators.
recently
You
discovered
cannot
economics.
talk about one particular item
oh, please,
and then try
quiet
and
now.
generalize
Let me
it
talk.
for the economy.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Amitabh
First of
Kant
all,
on the
let's remember one thing.
Amitabh on the
Yeah,
left.
but makes sense.
This government did not invent digitalization. This government did not invent digitalization. This thing has been going on long before. Just ask Sam Pitroda. So, you know, it's not like they've discovered it and it's happening today. Just like what you said that the assets, NPAs are not today's, they are old. So even the digital economy is old. My friend Sam has been doing stuff with it for years together, which at the time when Rajiv Gandhi introduced computers, Mr. Vajpayee came to parliament on a horse-drawn, on a bullock-drawn carriage. So anyway, but my point is, if the government thinks that everything is hunky-dory, the economy is doing fine, then why have they gone into this incredible panic mode? Mr. Jaitley speaks, you have a minister, Mr. Goyal speak, you have Mr. Gadkari coming on later, you had Mr. Panda write an article in favor, you had Mr. Jayant Sinha write an article in favor. I mean, why have they pressing the panic button if the economy is
That
all
is a-
hunky-dory
that
and
is-
it's all roses?
that is
So
a
what's
general-
then why?
That
This
is
is
a
what
general
they're doing.
question.
They bring everybody and they keep talking. You know, Mr. Rao talks about structural changes.
I'll say one thing.
Talking about
I'll
the
say
fact
one
of the
thing.
matter is
Rajiv.
GST. I'll tell you what GST has done. GST has put sand in the gears of the small and medium economy in such a bad way
Sir,
that in fact it's been 2
Sir,
months
GST is a
before
Congress
any
discovery.
serious exchange transactions have taken place. But I'm talking about the implementation.
Right.
They opposed it. Mr. Modi opposed it.
Amitabh Kant responding.
I've got videos to show how much he opposed it.
Well,
no, I mean, they didn't invent
well,
digital.
Arnab, I
No?
just
It's
wanted
not
to
their
make this
own.
point
It's not
about,
like something they found out today and they're saying digital.
Amitabh Kant.
It's been around for a while.
What?
It's been around for a while.
Arnab, to my
Sam
mind,
Pitroda made a
GST,
wallet, which he ultimately
digitization,
sold to
they are
Mastercard.
all. So, to my mind, GST, digitization, all these are very, very progressive moves. These will yield a lot of dividend for this country. But I wanted to stress a little bit on jobs. And, much of the debate on jobs is based on the Labor Board Bureau statistics, which covers just 1.4% of the total enterprises in this country and presents a rather incomplete picture. Now, I think Mr. Piyush Goyal had a point when he said that the nature of jobs has radically changed. And actually, during the last year and a half, Ola itself has created 650,000 jobs. 650,000 jobs. And they are not jobs of a driver. They are all entrepreneurs because they own cars. Uber has created over 500,000 jobs like this. But I think the important thing is that we've tried to analyze statistics of ESI. We've looked at EPF, and we've looked at the National Pension Fund scheme. All three show a very buoyant trend during the last 2 years. And to my mind, if you look at ESI, for instance, the active members have grown by 1 crore, almost 1 crore. And with this kind of expenditure which has gone into roads, which has gone into rail, which has gone into civil aviation, and which has gone into electricity, it can't be a country which has grown at 7% plus, which is even now, today going at 5.7%, and we are saying is growing without jobs. Now the challenges, Arnab, let me tell you, there are challenges.
Amitabh, I don't disagree.
No, there are challenges, and the challenge, yeah. So to my mind, there are challenges, and the challenge
Why have you
is
panicked?
that one side
Why
the
has the government panicked?
process of manufacturing is getting increasingly mechanized, and the other side we need to push for labor-intensive
Why has
sectors.
the government panicked?
And to my mind, tourism, textiles, food processing, these are areas which the government is really pushing for. The growth will come in these areas in the coming years.
On the issue of jobs, I disagree with you, Amitabh Kant. I feel, again, with no disrespect to you, that you might be fooling yourself. You might be existing in an echo chamber. These might be arguments that you can make on television debates. But the fact is that you are the ones who started Skill India. You are the ones who started Startup India, Make in India. Fact is, you have failed to create jobs at the pace that it was anticipated you would. Recent report, okay, I forget Labour Bureau report, but I must tell you about Labour Bureau report. In Labour Bureau report, jobs in the non-farming sector increased at 1.1%, growth of economy 7%. So I have a problem with that. Secondly, look at the economic survey of 2016-17. It described your economic growth as sluggish, your employment growth as sluggish. And finally, if I may, Amitabh Kant, you look at your Labour Ministry statistics. In 2015, you only created 135 lakh new jobs. You are promising tens of crores of jobs. So there is a gap. Yeah. I don't understand why. By the way, I think there's a response coming from Suneet Chopra on the issue of jobs. Let's debate the issue of jobs here. But my charge here against the government is that the government is existing in an echo chamber. And Amitabh Kant, I think Suneet Chopra wanted to also respond to you on that. Do not say to anyone today there are enough jobs. There is enough unemployment and underemployment in India, so you might end up angering people.
Can I respond to you?
Yeah, please respond. Yeah. But then you'll have to hear from Suneet after that.
Yeah, so, sure. Arnab, I never said that there are adequate number of jobs. There's a challenge of jobs. The whole focus is on labor-intensive sectors. The package for textiles was to create jobs in the textile sector. There's a whole focus on food processing. There's an entire focus on travel and tourism today in this country. But the important thing to understand is that the nature of job is changing very radically, and there are totally new kind of jobs getting created. I mean, that is why, if you look at IIT Mumbai, almost 40% of the students who've passed out this year have either started a startup or joined their own startup. Or if you look at Bangalore today, almost 50 to 55% of students are today doing their own startup.
I think response from Danish.
There's a whole new movement, or whole new...
I disagree. I disagree.
How many startups have been already closed within these few months? We can't fool ourselves. We can't fool ourselves.
No. Startups.
Yes, there are no jobs.
No,
totally
Mr. Danish,
economy
startups
has been
open.
Destroyed.
Yeah, Sunit Chopra.
They don't get enough money to live. They can't pay their installments.
Yeah, but Sunit Chopra...
This is the reality of Uber.
But Sunit Chopra, now let me request you to look within a little bit. And GVL, before you come back and we go back straight to the political debate, I am asking you today, I felt like laughing. Because the Congress Party's Ghulam Nabi Azad, Sunit Chopra is saying policy paralysis. The UPA could not even keep fuel prices in check. You were part of the UPA. Is it or is it not true? Sunit Chopra speak the truth today that petrol prices were increased 22 times during the tenure of the UPA. You think you will fool people today?
UPA 1. We were not part of UPA 2.
Yeah, you were part of UPA 1. I'm talking about UPA 1 as well. Point number 2. Point number 2. Point number 2. Food prices increased. Food prices increased by 157% during the UPA tenure. True or false, Danish?
When you supported the UPA.
But people are starving now because they can't buy the
People
food.
were starving when onion prices hit 521% during the UPA tenure of which you were a part. So don't fool people. Don't have crocodile tears today.
Arnab,
Don't tell me about empathy.
Arnab,
And oh, by the way,
people of this country has voted.
No, by the GVL is responding to you, but one second. Danish Ali, don't get hyper sentimental on the program and try to fool people today.
Well,
you talk about growth figures. You talk about growth figures. What do you know about growth figures? You know nothing. Growth figures during 2012-13 were 5%. Where were you then? Did you say the finance minister should resign? Did you quit then? The person who was the finance minister then is leading the charge now.
Arnab,
do you have a conscience?
Studio, you cannot defend the indefensibles.
I am not defending the indefensible. I am quoting facts and you have nothing to respond with.
For God's sake, don't try to
I am showing what a political turncoat you are.
Country has voted.
Well, you want me to pull out the past. Let the debate be open, viewers.
Bring back black money.
Let's debate this. Let's debate this. Let's debate this. The fact of the matter is, you want me to speak the truth? I'll speak the truth today. I'll speak the truth today. I will speak the truth today. And hear me. Danish Ali,
this government has not done anything on Panama papers. Even a failed state
what are you saying, Danish Ali?
Even the Prime Minister
what are you saying? Danish Ali, this is too much.
Yeah, I know you love Pakistan.
But this government is not had done anything.
Danish
Ali,
you can only think of Pakistan and any comparison.
Who are having the black money? That list is with Mr.
Danish Ali.
Modi.
Danish Ali.
No, I'm saying even the failed state like Pakistan, they are the prime.
I don't want to be personal with you, but I'll have to.
Our government is sitting.
No, I don't want to be personal with you. I don't want to be personal with you. I don't want to be personal with you, but I will have to, and you'll have to listen to me and don't get angry. I'll go to be a little personal with you. 1 second. You know something, Danish Ali? You are the same man.
Go ahead.
I'm saying it on national television.
Don't try to defend indefensible.
बोलने दीजिए ना मुझे.
And you are talking even.
Let me complete.
आप सुनिए ना मेरी बात. आपने अभी डिबेट स्टार्ट करते हुए कहा कि जो लोग मंत्री पद नहीं बन पाए बीजेपी में वो बोल रहे हैं अरे भाई यशवंत सिन्हा तो बेचारे चुनाव भी नहीं लड़े थे. He didn't even contested लोकसभा इलेक्शन. He rescued himself and asked his son to contest.
GVL is on the debate. GVL. I just wanted to tell you, Danish Ali.
Arun Shourie was not even in the
I don't know why.
No,
Arnab,
what is this? Don't
Arnab,
try to.
I don't know.
Don't assassinate the character of everyone who is challenging this government.
That Danish Ali, Sunit
Chopra. You are trying to
it's amusing
character assassinate
that were
everybody of everyone who tries to challenge this government, who tries to show the mirror to this government. Don't try to assassinate the character of every individual.
I don't know why he wants to
Arun
become
Shourie or
a
Yashwant
cheerleader
from your party.
I just want you, before I wrap up this debate,
I know
I'm going
anyone
to a
who
break.
chooses, can I make a statement? Arnab?
You can't give jobs.
Anyone who chooses
You
to
can't
be a
give food.
cheerleader
You've
for
destroyed
their own
agriculture.
reasons,
You've
out of their own
destroyed
personal
handloom.
frustration,
And you've
they
destroyed
can
the
totally-
informal
totally
economy of our rural India.
And you ensured that millions of Indian children were malnourished. You ensured that the growth figures fell to 5%. You ensured there was so
Yes,
much.
Yogi.
You even ensured.
You don't
One second.
give
Last
them
word.
even
Last word. Last word. Last word.
1,000 kids
Last
have
word.
died
Last
in
word.
a
You
month.
even ensured.
Nobody
You
could
even
have
ensured
done
that there was so
that.
much cash in the system that people like Danish Ali could not get elected because they didn't have enough cash to share. I thank you all, including Amitabh Kant, GVL, Sunit Chopra and Danish Ali for joining me on a spirited debate number 1. Debate number 2 is coming up on the other side.